What is up? Yeah, we've got a... Oh god. What is up? We got an echo. Yeah, what is happening here? Oh god. Alright. We killed it. Sorry, I was trying to be responsible and get everything pulled up in advance. It just went too hard. What's up? Yeah, we have a solid day. This week is going to be a bit less spicy than I hoped, but still should be an interesting day today. We have a opponent that was a bit hard to read. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. I'm still not too sure what to expect. The mystery won't be too intense for reasons we'll get to in a second, but yeah. We do have, unfortunately, 4 Galactic Legends versus 3. Not my favorite type of matchmaking to be made, but unfortunately, I think this might end up being a more common occurrence than I was hoping for. I don't know. Maybe it's just my Relic 7s. I really don't feel the need to Relic 7 that many things unless CG tells me to, or unless it's just like a really good character, right? Gen Luke comes out, yeah, sure. Yeah. He uses it well. He wears it well. Why not? But like, other stuff, I don't know. If it's not a wreck, I just haven't really felt the need. I need Gear 12 and Gear 12 Plus so much, it's really, really hard to justify that, but I don't know if it's all in the pursuit of more competitive GAC streams. That might be the dark road that we're headed towards. Just arbitrarily giving stuff relics. I'm not quite there yet. I don't really want to think down those lines right now. Yeah. Playing against a fun opponent, I'd say. Was going back and forth a little bit with them a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, seemed like a cool guy. Guy or gal, I don't know. But, yeah, I guess there's not too much to say in advance here. You know, the usual stuff. We're ahead on mods where it matters. We're kind of behind on most other stuff. Relic's a little bit tied this time around. I'm a little bit ahead in Relic 7. This page just isn't as interesting to me right now. This is going to be a very board-based season for me, because the hope that I have is that regardless of what they have, regardless of what they're bringing, I want my board to feel like a puzzle. And it does have a solution, but it's going to get right on into it. That's the GAC board. I'm so focused on getting out of territory wars. Hello. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to continue to be a Kylo last man standing situation. This is kind of the first time that I've tried going triple GL defense with the force floating. It's very different planning it out than seeing it in action firsthand. Especially like, you know, I kind of underrated the possibility of them going Sith Eternal Emperor Mirror was certainly a thing that I'm pretty sure happened. They posted a 59. I'm pretty sure that has to be SEU Watt. Yeah, it just, we'll see. And we didn't even go full blown this time. We did do a little bit of hedging, a little bit of messing around. Didn't post CLS on defense, posted Grievous instead. Actually, it was kind of just a waste. We're gonna wish that we had Grievous on offense a little bit. Not necessarily. They're kind of interchangeable for their purpose, which is killing enemy CLS. But just, you know, better off on defense. Granted, we are trading a bit of consistency in the process. Our defense got a little bit easier, but our ability to kill enemy CLS also got a lot better. I still just have some trust issues with Grievous against CLS. It just being what it is, I don't know. Again, talking about relics I haven't done. It's possible that my separatists just need to be a bit bulkier. I did switch to full-blown tank modding on Magna Guard, including, I think I dropped the Grid Avoid arrow. I'm not 100% sure on that. In favor of protection, just to kind of build even harder against that exposed damage. But yeah, just kind of is what it is. We'll see where we're at. We have, on the other hand, though, a good hold. It kind of took me by surprise because I was looking at everything and I thought that he actually had a fairly clean line to clear us successfully. We did get a hold with Rey clones. He said that it caught him out. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, what brought that about. But yeah, So feeling pretty alright about that. Not sure on if this is going to be a high-low still standing situation, but otherwise, they got a fairly clean clear. The couple of speed trap teams we did post up in the north didn't really achieve a whole lot. I'm actually really grateful they were willing to tell me what they used against the Scoundrel team. They drew gas, which is, you know, probably a good value trade, but it just kind of depends on what they would be spending on the rest of our teams anyway. And I think, you know, going a little bit lighter on defense like we did does open up gas to feel a lot easier for them to spend there. I mean, they didn't spend it until after they saw everything else anyway, so that was just a calculated choice on their part. Yeah. So anyway, other than that, fairly straightforward day to day. Not fully committed to defense. I'm trying to just sprinkle things in for match history's sake. I'm probably overthinking the match history stuff too hard, especially because of the fact that last match we gave up a pretty expensive defense team just to try to get it in the match history, and they didn't hit it. They hit up north. So I got one team up north, or well, they did some stuff to varying degrees of success. Sorry, is a 5 sitting behind my head. We're fairly happy with, but yeah, probably overthinking that a little bit. Definitely don't. It was a funny one-time thing. I'm definitely not looking to do that again with the whole Jedi Arena team on defense. I was hoping we could get it seen. Didn't quite play out that way. Definitely wasn't worth the end result, so we'll call that a lesson learned. Hey, the GG counter CLS would work with Gear 12 Magna. It's hard to say. You do every living droid. I mean, new kind of TM trains. But every droid, especially with like a Magna Guard AoE, right, is a huge help towards keeping your Terminator train running. And that is a control matchup. That is a matchup where you're abusing your target lock Terminator, your ability to control them, Magna Guard stun, Magna Guard AoE, lens, giving Grievous speed up. It all kind of comes together. On the bright side, if they do happen to shoot Magna Guard and he dies, that's gonna be some opening Terminator with your Grievous getting to AoE immediately. That still feels a little bit bad to me. It definitely feels a little bit bad to me. Because it's going to be a fantastic opener, assuming that you give your Grievous potency, which is a huge import for that matchup. You do need to be laying those target locks, and there's an okay amount of tenacity flying around. Yeah, I don't know. It's think of like a 4-man IP Troopers, right? This is very much an IP Troopers type situation. It breaks the chain in a bad way. So it was a little bit bad to me. I would say risky business at the very minimum. So yeah, I'm talking about this defense setup that we're going to be dealing with. The last 5v5 season that they did, I looked, back a month ago in their history. They only had one Galactic Legend, I'm pretty sure. So it's kind of difficult to... there just wasn't really a read for this season. But I think fortunately, we can kind of just move on in here. This south wall doesn't really force us to make any hard choices. This is a very friendly Nest team. And because, honestly, I was actually considering skipping the feat because they had posted a 59 against my Eternal Emperor, which is what caused that SE Watt read. But I think, given the holds, given the extra banner bleed, I think we have room. I think we can do some feet grabbing. Still works fine if Meta gets targeting it. Targeted is just a little bit less clean. Depends on the quality of the CLS team. If it's like an offense stacked CLS and that Magna is getting one shot and you're down a man, then that sounds really bumpy. That's the thing. If Meta gets targeted, it's not necessarily the end of the world. If he's gear 12 and can't take getting blasted, then we have an issue. But that comes down more to like DLS. In that situation, I figured it'd be safer to assume that Magna probably doesn't stay alive there. Depends on the Magna modding, depends on the CLS modding, depends on a lot of modding. But I value consistency, and I would say that feels a little bit uncomfortable. Potentially. Yeah, it's definitely Maul Savage, right? Savage. I feel like the first time that this feat ran, I actually got that wrong. I did the feat and then just ran the game. All right. Starting off with a little bit of a snooze fest, but I mean, hey, we're always attacking south, so it does just kind of have to get done anyway. That might get right and still work fairly well, just on a tighter clock. Yeah, I think so. The other side of that issue to me, or the other concern there, is consistency of target locks. If you get a really good 5-man target lock, you can probably still make that work. And we're just gonna chill with Biggs for a bit. I like how we didn't get the counter chain first time we tried that. Almost coming back around. I'm still waiting for a day where like a really big wedge with some good potency, like a high relic 5, 6, 7 can just come in and bully out Nest, but I don't think. I mean, we can see the health over time count already. Nest is gonna be. This should. I don't even think this is gonna take that long. I'm gonna guess 2:30 left on the clock when this. Of course, Nest is gonna need some time to bake, but I think the ramp up is gonna end up being a bit violent once we get there. Yo, what's up, Cabion? Nice to see you stopping by as well. Yeah, that's why my Grievous actually still just has potency cross on. What hymns to use versus SCE with Malik? I've been asking this myself lately. I don't know if I feel the need for Gideon. I've seen both sides. It feels like okay. Need to make sure that we're gonna retarget back. I don't know if a dead and revived character actually retargets back on. She has the taunting mark, but like it should redirect, right? Both of you. Back in your playpen. I've heard like cut Stark. I've heard Gideon, non-Gideon. My answer, like the answer that I want to be true, is going to be a little bit different from reality, I think, or at least the answer that I would probably end up forcing, because the idea of cutting Stark to me is rough to hear, because, you know, I'm kind of, for the most part, just following along with Rex right now, and Stark veers Piet is the most common Gear 13s, and not necessarily to say that you want any Gear Troopers, I almost said. I mean, they might as well be at this point, they're just like a damage check. Not to say that you necessarily want to cut corners on them. Alright, this is 2:30. Get out of here. Alright, fine. We are actually close though. It should be you gone. She might have one more revive, but what, it should be dead on next counterattack. Close enough. Alright, we're a couple of seconds short. Give or take 15. What we got there? I mean, so obviously we have. I don't know, let's just. Sure. Just pick a slot, any slot. The general core that you're looking for is obviously we're on a Veers. Piet is pretty much a solid lock as well. DT. I was wondering if DT was cuttable, but for the most part, I would say definitely not. It's just like you need the death mark to rally sometimes. Sometimes not, but just he's also one of the better damage dealers if you can take him to Gear 13. And the Dispel, I was really wondering like how badly do we actually need the Dispel? I'm going to 10 on my leg right now. You gotta chill. Not right now. Yeah, I don't. I want to believe DT is cuttable, but I don't think he actually is. It was just for the sake of not having to gear extra characters. Range, I think, still has a lot of value, especially if you're fighting against Malik. You really want those extra unique procs to give you extra turn meter. And then from there, it seems kind of like a pick one. I've seen some Gideon in here. I still think that if your troopers are lower gear, then Stark might actually feel kind of solid here still at some points, just because the extra damage buffs will help you push over the top. Gideon's main thing that he's offering here is higher base speed to go in front of like a Sith Assassin as well as the Armor Shred. Seems pretty nice. But kind of questioning his actual damage potential from there. Yeah, that's kind of where it's at right now. Again, I'm not too thrilled about the idea of cutting Stark, but then again, like, if I do this, then suddenly this team feels really bad to me as well. So, like, that's display if you're playing on cutting Stark. Yeah, that's the idea that, like, it's never really going to be this, right? Especially against Malik. Like, Snow's entire value is AoE chipping down the team as your TM training so that the next kill after your first kill comes a little bit easier. Plus, you get the crit damage and the unique, and a little bit of extra turn meter on kill. For the most part, it's just invalidated here. So at this point, you're basically in what feels like a pick 3 out of these 4. And for the most part, it feels like I've seen a lot of versions successful. For me, it's just a question of I'm almost scared to gear anyone past what they're at right now, just because everything feels so up in the air, and it feels like it could be really, really easy some point soon down the line to have geared someone a regret. It would feel bad to have a Stark floating around instead of Gideon. I absolutely agree with you. Like, this would be what I would want to make work. The big question to me is, could this power through a God Tank Scion who's specifically built to contest this team? I don't think for the most part that this armor shred matters, but that's the specific use case in mind that I have. Kind of like what I was trying to do with my Scion. I don't know if I can actually... I probably can't. Yeah, he's dead. Scion, I'm specifically going with like a very, very heavy defense, heavy protection stack, because in this specific use case, you know, if I happen to hold Scion for offense against Geos, that would be riskier, but Scion's protection pool is a little bit higher. Give him a crit avoid arrow as well. You could debate. It's still, I think, gonna matter to some degree. If you can block any amount of crits from Imp Troopers. Is it Veers, Piet, Stark, and range base for IT? Flexible for your need. Stark has been on the chopping block against the Eternal Emperor specifically, from what I've heard. This is a counter that I haven't been feeling too much personally, but this is just, I've heard, seen in various places. It's just a question of mix and match and what the counter needs, and also what you're running. But I would broadly agree that I wouldn't want to use Gideon if I don't have to. A, because we've got Stark Gear 13 already. B, Stark... Just in a funny way, Stark actually could potentially still plug and play. Like, you could try to just, like, flex him in within, like, a Vader team and just give him crit chance up and crit damage up. But, like, that's assuming you've got speed Stark. If you happen to go Piet fastest, then as damage Stark, then that's already in a really rough spot. Fast Stark as well, you know, you get some turn meter reduction. God, it really isn't much. The fact that it's double threat Imp Troopers just means that we're getting half value in any other team if you're just trying to chuck him in with Vader. Not to say that it couldn't matter, but that's like really slim margins, right? But yeah. My hope for Gideon was to avoid using him in Imp Troopers for the most part, and I intend to keep it that way. If possible. I don't know. I haven't actually used them yet. Alright. So for this, for the choices I made, for the teams that I held, we should just be doing this. I was actually thinking about this, though. So, if they stun CLS, it actually kind of just sucks. I don't know that Guarded Chupio is actually the correct call here. I'm gonna try swapping them around. I have had CLS get stunned sometimes in this match, or in the year. We do have a pretty fast Han, even missing a 6E arrow, but still 93, pretty respectable. A couple of fast mods, a couple of mods that could be faster, but we got a 26 and a 25, and a 20, just kind of keeping him on pace. We are plenty faster in this mirror. Yeah, let's try Guarded CLS. Yeah, do it. Not the most consistent mirror match, but at least we can guarantee going first now. Is nice. And we also get the shot on someone who can't be stunned. Also quite low. Not going to be the best banners out of this counter, of course, but... God, this is actually almost a really tempting call to action, but I think we stick to our principles here. See, we're already back on taking a turn again. Look at this presence. Who is this guy? Alright, so unfortunately we got the double confuse on Chewy, despite tenacity modding, but of course the potency up, and probably potency modding more than enough to invalidate that. So how we want to play this? We got the expose here. We're looking for about... I think we're looking for more damage, especially since we don't have a Chewy assist. The shrug isn't actually doing that much. I almost might just take a basic here instead. Take a basic here. 2PO AoE coming up. We would be handshaking a lot less banners than I'd like. Moment of group. But you know what? Maybe that's what we all. Maybe it's that I need right now. We might have just bought up one banner back. That's like grace period. We can see the pip enough over the last bar that I think we should be there. I think I'm a little bit bummed by it is we kind of need a little bit more Chewy action than we might be getting. I just want to try to, you know, alright, we got that back to 56. I think that could have easily been less. Alright, JTR crew. So they went pretty heavy on offense. So we have crew with Hux. Not necessarily with Fox, but, you know, your 12 Sith Trooper can still an amount of damage, especially with those crew counterattacks. You have JTR with RH. I actually didn't look at this before. 13 is not bad speed either. Okay. But we do still have toys on our end, though. It's actually, because of some of the modding choices I made, this Grievous is almost kind of annoying. It's been a while since I tried JKR Luke against Grievous. I remember it not exactly being the most pleasant, but our Yoda is not built for chopping blocks at this point. Yeah, I'm with you, Sniper. You can save time hitting C3 for more banner. It's true. I didn't want the match to extend that long though, because it feels like it's a lot easier for them to. Their damage against us is a lot higher than our was. So I was mostly just looking for the opportunity to get a Chewy extra turn, maybe possibly two. I'm okay with how they resolved that. All right, let's take stock. We got Palpatine Vader. We got full-blown, well, as full-blown as this can be, M Troopers. We got Gideon, a fairly fast Gideon. We don't really have a good EP Bastila. We do have EP and Bastila, but not the other stuff that you want to see in EP Bastila to make it good for anti-Grievous. I have tried to do EP Bastila DR before, but that's a really annoying song and dance. Are we... God, our crit chance is kind of spicy. There's no way, right? Does he have... He doesn't. Pretty sure this is just speed or health. It's been a while since I've done Vader against Creep. I don't know if... I don't think I want to try today. Quite ready to do that yet. Alright. I guess let's just go from speed matchup down. So obviously we don't have JTR or M-Troopers necessarily wanting to go up against Hux. That starts to do the process of elimination. This could very easily just be Vader. We have what? DR without Malik against First Order sounds pretty miserable. Definitely not looking to do that. Okay. I guess Gideon against this might not sound that bad. BB-8 shouldn't outspeed us. He's only getting 8% turn meter. This is kind of troublesome. We need to specifically avoid AoE. So DT is actually kind of off here. JTR mirror would feel bad. JTR against Vader is a pain. Not necessarily the worst, but I'm dealing with it. I actually want to spend Gideon. What's our non-Gideon cap? I kept it fairly competitive, 326. Still faster than BB-8, but I'm gonna do a real quick self-audit. 348. Yeah, we're still clocked. All right, let's try this. Problem is the moment that we slam Veer's AoE, it's gonna give JTR nah. I don't think we can trust JTR to not mind tricks. Most of the time, she uses the ability block, but it's making me skittish. Okay. Against Terminator, I think JTR would be happier against the Imp Troopers, so I think we just imp this. Their speeds aren't that fast either. Looks comfy. Okay, so despite the Django lead, it's only about 290 something. We've got a pretty hardy speed lead. We got the damage Stark, so we're passing the mark here. Almost kind of tempted to not even spend the crit damage buffs yet, but yeah, plenty overkill. Pretty much no matter what we do. Yeah, that figures. Even with the Gear 12s, still doing plenty fine. Alright, then the flip side of that, JTR mirror is extremely ugly. I'm really not looking to do that. I guess the really weird thing about Gideon as well is Gideon should theoretically feed this Protector a lot of turn meter. I don't know, so does his unique reapply the debuffs per turn? First turn of each encounter only means that it should not. If Vader is slower than BSF, you could try to do debuff stupid and beat it wipe out G. Sounds great on paper. Unfortunately, we've made some choices this season that we are. There's a reason why I wasn't exactly gung-ho about EPBSF versus Grievous, let's say, and that would be why. Wasn't really sure about the SEE comp that I went with. I went with a last second change because I felt like his main out, I kind of underrated SEU Watt, so I figured his only out would be Vader, so I placed Malik to block that. Considering I'm pretty sure he used SEU Watt, that was probably a bad read. I don't think it was technically wrong, but I just like SEU Watt just hasn't really, I haven't really fleshed out my expectations for like that team's matchup table yet. Maybe I am just feeling this. I don't know. JTR freaks out against Vader, but and with that Gideon, we bring. We need a tank that can deal with heal block. Not necessarily mine. The low bar. That's a high bar. Better we just go tank Thrawn against Scuffed Ray. Wait, is that sick here actually? God, I haven't had a chance to do this in a while. This wasn't exactly the context I had planned for. No Zader lead sounds kind of lame. I mean, it can be hazardous against his JTR if she gets into a self loop, but in this case, without the damage immunity, it means that she would theoretically just burn herself out. any reason we would regret spending water? Probably not. This is actually kind of a bad idea. So our sign is actually, I was thinking about this before we locked in. Our sign is actually kind of just a ridiculous watt tank right now. If we happen to do a flex like this, like his modding has a lot of stuff to feel good about. A lot of stuff to feel good about. He's pretty much on the premiere, one of the premiere, aside from the health. I think this mod is a bit unremarkable. But everywhere else, he's actually kind of an alright watt tank piece target with the triple protection primary. You could do a lot worse. I assume we're probably just supposed to go L3 here, though. Alright, fine. We're not necessarily on tank throne, so that probably means we're just supposed to swap these out. Alright, this is kind of a weird call. That would feel good for stripping foresight too. Yeah! Yes and no. Wait, are we... So Vader doesn't lose TM when Gideon goes, so I think we're actually maybe supposed to just go weapon tech first. Is almost definitely what's supposed to happen right now. So Gideon will assist himself, so we need to specific not do that. Or not aim at JTR, just to avoid popping the foresight. I guess we're about to pop it anyway. Alright, Finn's our main kill target, so we're probably just gonna aim to juice that where possible. Choke on BB-8, I guess, for the anti-counter. What if her Cole is actually good enough to kill, right? So, if I had my, like, super God Vader modding, then I think I would actually want to go fishing, but we hit the ability block. Hard to feel mad about that. That is my turn. Double foresight. Let's just pop the foresight with the choke. Get a couple of watt debuffs, hopefully. We kind of just have to hit JTR right now. We can't dispel that foresight anyway, or the armor immunity anyway. Or armor immunity? What, ferocity, I guess, counts as that. So I would almost really like to just keep Fracture for BB-8 right now, but I'm pretty sure she's about to go before Vader, and yeah. Potentially drop killing immunity on L3, which meant that we weren't going to be able to keep our full banners if we get a couple of counterattacks from BB-8 first. We're fine now. Fairly overkill, but team diffused. JTR versus PCSD. JTR, like, if you've done Vader against Rey a bunch, you know what JTR is capable of against the Vader lead. Yeah, what's up? I don't know what to call you. Regional Manager Vader. That doesn't roll off the tongue. Manager Vader. Any better debuffer from Demoralized? I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of the whole face as an icon trend. I mean, what, we've got is it just these two so far? I can't think of any others. No, wait, Cyan was the OG, right? Wasn't he? But Cyan's didn't really feel like this. I don't know what it was. It's almost because it was more simplistic. Like, let's do a face-off. All right, so we have this right off the bat. I think it's just the hair, especially. Is that his hair or a hood? Like, there's a thing with icon design sometimes where, like, less detail can be more because your brain just starts filling it in instead. I really, like, is this the hair? Is this, like, some Einstein hair? Is this a hood? This is the first phase. Second phase goes fast. And here, it's like, we can see they're, like, starting to add the hair detail. It's just, I don't know. It's too much detail in the icon, I feel like. Yeah, let's reset the Terminator just so. Face off. God, could you just... Oh, he has like 200 on speed modding or something. Dude is solely clocked to work with this assassin. Oh yeah, it's not even a science face. It's just a skull representing pain. See, I feel like pain was a good example of it. Keep on bouncing it off of me. Alright, jerks. Thanks for the example. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a weird place that the Galaxy of Heroes designers are just in right now, where characters are getting debuffs specific only to themselves, and you can only abstract mechanics like that so many times before, like, let's take like an Empire icon for example, right? It's like, okay, you've got like Emperor's Trap. Oh, how about Hatred is his face? I knew that there was something in there. Did I win yet? We're basically there. I don't know if they can finish this, but we already got a hold elsewhere, so we're just doing clean kills, and we should be just fine. Speaking of just fine, though, am I just gonna like do the full Jedi suite here? All right, let's solve everything else and then come back. I guess we could do, if we're just going for the GL counters but against their weaker counterparts. Man, the problem, JML on offense is so nice if you're dealing with Galactic Legends and need a Switchblade. Straight up, this is a bad counter. This is a bad team. The power is there. The banners are not. This is going to be a 55. Like, this would be genuinely better as a possibility, right? At least then we have, like, he can still reach over with Daze, but we have the protection regen. If you, like, it almost feels bad for them to go light on defense if you hold JML. Because the dude can't really solo most teams that comfortably. Maybe if you give him damage modding, it's something I've been wondering about. But, like, there's just no banner support. You need to, like, win in one fell swoop or you're just kind of hosed. That being said, though, it is kind of nice that Flux removes Terminator after proccing B2. Okay, I think we're just doing JTRB here. We do need to wonder about the part where I don't actually have that many JTR characters. Wait a minute. I didn't really count this part when I was planning my defense. Maybe we aren't. We've done this before, actually. This is with a way faster Darth Revan, though. Okay, what speed are we up against? Our Darth Revan isn't exactly 315. I actually don't think I trust this. Wait, a 315 Stark and a 308 Piet? Interesting. I don't know that I trust this. I really don't. If our deer was faster, maybe. If we could go Mind Tricks into Sanity. We've done the JTR DR setup before and it works pretty okay. Oh no. I mean, hey, for whatever it's worth, I did lose an SLK solo against CLS, but that was a calculated risk that just didn't pay off. I did call out that it was a 50-50 between whether I should have stunned Chewie or Kylo. Actually, by the way, not to detour too hard here. So I was, like, yesterday's matchup, or last round's matchup, was so wild that I didn't actually end up doing that much proper scouting. The one thing that would have made a pretty big difference in my judgment call there and knowing that we weren't going to be able to grab that Chewie kill was... This is fairly irrelevant, but he had a heavy protection stack, and our Kylo was missing some offense, and that can absolutely make the difference there. Yeah, I mean, the dude lived with, like, less than 10% health, so... Save J-Card plus attackers for GG. Yeah, it's just a question of... Sorry, JTR isn't as good as I was counting on. APBSF isn't as potent as I was counting on. I don't know. Maybe I don't necessarily. If I'm not posting DR on defense, then this modding really isn't justified suddenly. But just to give some context, kind of in preparation for another thing that I'm planning on releasing soon, we do just have kind of like an anti-Vader DR. Just about to make things a little bit less pleasant, let's say. And certainly on the Bastila front, that's which is why she's so slow. Just focus on bulk. It only really works if you're posting them on defense. I chose like I have like 10 defense teams I want to use, and I'm rotating in and out 3 of them at a time. And yeah, I mean, if we had GG on offense, this would be a pretty straightforward situation. Admin on defense, I think I still stand by. Our bounty hunters actually are kind of clocked, but I don't think they're clocked against beating this comfortably. What's gonna happen? Stark is gonna AoE, then Piet's gonna AoE, then does he have a cascade built off of that? I mean, probably actually, yeah. 273 with 20% Terminator probably gets what he needs. Range Trooper maybe doesn't complete it, but he's doing an AoE. So, or he's doing a mass assist specifically. Geos could almost break this if not for the part where Piet gains Terminator. Then we would get hit by a daze. I almost would rather just try to do a 3 Jedi split. Okay, so let's break this down. We got 3 leads. The problem is we don't have that many people, but I don't think we necessarily even need to, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want a 5-man team against Grievous, and then we can start playing down numbers against people. Bastila plus Cam could probably get some pretty good work done. I mean, yeah, I think based on the tools that we have left, the bounty hunters aren't quite what I'm hoping for. They're like a Terminator chain setup, and we have a Terminator chain blocker and a team that's gonna they're gonna beat them out of the gate just because we're stuck on shore. If shore wasn't here, I think bounty hunters could actually probably take this fairly comfortably. We would have double mass assist on Piet out of the gate. Everyone has shore except for me. Feels bad. Let's just tackle group, yes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a note of this. I think we do want to decommission. I mean, it was kind of nice too because we just had an excuse to steal even more speed from Sith Empire. But if I'm not gonna be as way. Alright, Jake here's a lock. Yoda, I think, is out. You've got to be elsewhere for a elite purpose. Probably you. God, Grandmaster Yoda is so nice for this matchup, though. We could do, like, JML gas into Bastila Cam, maybe? Jenga's us out of this issue. Old Ben's actually kind of alright for this matchup. I don't mind that draft. I feel a lot of potential for this to go SC sideways pretty quick. I love that JML is actually worse with JK versus GG. Under JK at lead, he's okay if I wasn't. Whereas Bastila, I'm probably going to try to just, because of the slow Sith Empire that I locked in this week, I'm going to try to do a Bastila lead against one of the other teams, like a Bastila cam or something, I think. They've all been for troopers. Nope. The problem is I know that I've done JKR JKL against Grievous once, and it just turned into our people started getting hammered by AoEs, and Luke started counter spamming everything to death, and we got blundered, and we won. But it was very much like a at what cost type of deal, not necessarily the best on banners type of deal. You could just go Galaxy Brain and try to Night Sister and Trooper team in 2021. I'm kind of glad this is happening this week, though. This is like some useful ironing out the kinks. Not necessarily that I expect to fight these teams again, but sometimes it's hard to get sight of stuff like this during the region. Like, teams like the Bounty Hunters are designed to tackle stuff like Darth Revan, but I wouldn't say feel great for Braun right now. I think it might end poorly. I've done it. I think we run it. Don't get me wrong. I'm expecting like a 56 at best. But I hit the battle button. No going back. Alright, so right off the bat, we have really fortunate RNG. So this is very quickly becoming what I'm expecting it to be, which is we have the counterattack show. I'm actually going to try popping AV4s. I can't get things to relax for a little bit. There's almost like a call that we need to not press this button right now. We have the foresight, so it's going to buy us some time. But the button is problematic. It's extremely problematic. Let's think. Next mark on GG. We could do a cheeky sneak on strategic advantage on Luke right now. I was gonna proc a mark, but I think we're kind of fine with that for the most part. We did our JKR basics, so our next turn should... Please don't work. Oh. Alright. He's just so counterattacking. Just do it. Oh, he got the target lock, so did not actually get the counter deck here. Alright, so we probably need to just use Master's Training right now. Let's try to balance. So let's give it to JKR. We need to try to set up for... I can get here in a second. Alright, welcome back. Swapping. Trying to pump you back to heal ASAP. We do kind of need to be using our... We need to treat this like LSTV suddenly. We've got strong basics on the beam. This is 100% gonna kill you. God, why did I pick you up? Hey, he's got crit damage up too. Yeah. Why not? Alright. You can be chill. I trust you. Assist calling on Hermit Yoda probably needs to be... We really don't have enough time to be doing this, but it's slightly better. That's actually kind of nice. Except for the part where we're guaranteed critting, dude. Actually, extremely problematic. Whatever. This will put Jolie back at full. We're slowly reconstructing everything. Yeah, this Luke turn is not going to be great feeling. I know Revan's not going to be chill about this. No, it... Alright, we're probably walking out of here with a 7. Oh, if this swap doesn't do it... Ah, okay, of course. Okay, we got a 58. We got there. The guard takes over Mandalore button? I mean, hey. If it's touch-up time, we're close. Do you have one favorite mod of yours? Good. You gotta do this to me. Don't pay. I did it in that case just because I wanted to try to greed an extra turn over to calling Carmen Yoda. Just more team protection. And trade for, I think it was a Jolie basic, right? Wasn't really the end of the worlds. God. Let's start off with the cheat code. This one's an okay contender, but biggest argument against it is that the percent offense is a little bit low and we're on flat health. Yo, Weesus, for the follow. What's up, Liam? I don't think it's necessarily a damage mod. I mean, don't get me wrong, mods like this or this have opened things up a lot for me. This one ended up being tragic, even though it was supposed to be the chosen one. It just... Whatever. This next box, it'll have one more shot, but I have low expectations for it. Do a temporary guide. Yeah, alright, so we have... Actually, you know what? There's a better way. I think so. You know what? No matter what angle... Okay. This is close enough. If I'm being, like, honest with myself and picky, I don't... This one's pretty dope. This is actually probably closest. It's not necessarily the highest roller, but this is, like, the closest to living the fantasy, right? Crit damage, so you're actually pretty happy to see a high crit chance count. The flight offense as a one-off pickup is not bad. Maybe would have been happier to see a 5 roll on the crit chance. This is maybe a contender. Definitely not this one as the favorite, although it's kind of funny. Yeah, I just don't think it's necessarily anything top speed, really. This is actually a really good question. I don't have a great answer lined up for it. Here we have another result of gambling thing. God, I wouldn't even be mad about this. The crit chance on the speed roll can be relevant sometimes, but the fact that we had to do a triple hit health, flat health, instead of protection just made me salty. I mean, maybe a possible cop-out answer, but I do feel it. Maybe this one. It's a bit bad. Like, I do feel really kind of proud of what happened with a lot of my damage arrows. It's actually kind of insane that I haven't given sort of 6E support yet. But, like, this one's pretty sick. This guy's pretty sick. Maybe not necessarily as promising in the 6E department. This has some really high performers in general that I'm quite happy with. And even this, only being a 2-match, but still the double % protection with the high roll showing, actually a really slick Jedi Luke. Like for everyone else, the bitrate dropped in the middle of him picking up. I can't read anything. I have no dropped frames, but I will keep it I'll keep a got stream health monitor up. I got you. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. Messing me up. Actually, this is kind of a new one. But I actually might just say this, just because it's so clean and pure and what it wants to be. It's either this, or it actually is probably gonna end up being like a tank mod. Like this guy. Especially because I really appreciate mods that just perform out of the box, even at 6E. Like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a 6 synergy match, but like this hit everything that it needs to hit for the most part. I think the percent protection is a little bit lacking, but like, you can just do some really dumb things. I was able to like, actually here. This is why I'm actually pretty happy with my tank mods, and they're not even the best. I think it just ends up being that I've put more work into them than the average person. I really haven't even done that much. But like, okay, so we got this one on. We have this guy here, and then we just switch to protection. Like, say we're doing gas cheese, right? This one's okay. This one's pretty sick. And then you go down here. You go up here. This one's interchangeable. We have it's either this or that. This mod actually, it could be a very strong candidate. This is just a high roller. This is a high roller with a lot of potential left in the tank as well. It just did well across the board. Yeah, what's up, Revenge? A solid 82% armor with triple protection. Like, this mod deserves a lot of respect. This mod I respect a lot. This, I haven't actually done the math on which is better between top or bottom. I would lean towards it has to be bottom just based on pure roll efficiency. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't have a good answer. Messing me up. I feel like I should too. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Like, maybe you would want to see tenacity or potency instead of tenacity on the last slot. But this is just, I mean, if we're talking about why I was able to build a God Vader, it's almost like this mod is doing some ridiculous heavy lifting. Carrying this bad boy. So, yeah. Waiting for a second while squeaky mic stand, so I don't want to necessarily break y'all's ears. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that some more. I kind of want to. That'd be a fun thing for like a Discord. And it seems like a weird thing to do in every one tag for. I try to be sparing with those. But like, we already have a bragging rights channel, so this would be like a fun thing to do with it, I think. Alright, back to the main issue though. We've got an elite Jedi squad, and by elite I mean, it's fairly elite. We have Jedi Master Luke. If we go for the Luke Gas 2-man, we need to check what the status of this First Order squad is necessarily. Are you on health stack? Or on the protection side? So Cam could actually probably bully him out quickly. I am still just concerned. It's not that hard for them to just still beat us up a bit. Especially someone like Bastila doesn't really get second chances here. Okay. I feel like just kind of automatically. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're just doing the JML Cam show. I mean, he is kind of crap modded, unfortunately. I mean, yes and no. He's Relic 7 with some alright offense. This actually could work. It feels like it has to be JML against Troopers. God, is there actually a chance, though, if we get bad Afflix RNG, that they could just reverse blow us up? I'm taking it. Whatever. Got Bastila gas. We could do worse. We're probably just supposed to do Elflix here. Especially for that crit immunity. They do hit the counterattack, which isn't fantastic. Alright, so they do finally taper out. Once they fall down to basics. They did train us for a little bit, but I would say yeah, we're pretty much fine from here. Might as well just kill Piet now. In terms of banners, I don't know what we're necessarily walking out of here with. I think we could maybe get Cam back to full, but we don't really have a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of life left to work with. Alright, Beer's unique is down. F-Lux with them having... I was gonna say, with them having crit immunity, it's actually kind of nice for us if Isis is trying to get some cam protection back, but I guess that's just wrong. We need to be in Makashi, actually. This is exactly what needs to be happening right now. Makashi is how we get our protection back. The problem is, though, this might not be Grace period on health. Oh, that make a lot of sense, actually. Okay, we get the full health. 62, not bad. I wonder what it would take. Can't, like, if you could choose to start Cam and Makashi, he could actually theoretically just solo them down. No, their offense would stack up enough that the critical hit immunity encounters would eventually not matter. No, he would take a lot of turns, though. That's really hard to say. No, he would take a lot of turns, so their Emperor's Trap would actually just break over to Hello. Okay. I did Malevolence against this recently, and it wasn't as bad as Ahsoka Houndstooth for me. So I think this should be alright. It is a Relic HGK as well. I didn't necessarily call that out yet. Maybe a spicy matchup. Maybe we could drop a battle here. Maybe this is losable. I don't know. I would assume now. Maybe they're just waiting on SLK to see what my final score is. I don't know if we need to send 4 there, but I think everyone here kind of has a purpose, either for restoring banners or otherwise. Speaking of purpose. Wait, he just threw away his advantage immediately. Thank you. God, I'm so used to seeing advantage and thinking critically immune. Unfortunately for them, I guess we do have a tanky gas, actually. I was gonna say, unfortunately for them, it's not the case, and then one-shot them all. Didn't really play out that way. Let's do some drifting. Get the 1-2. I think I should get some decent counterattack damage. He can't counterattack us, so we'll just go for it. I was gonna go for Tribute Reduction, but Death all Solar. And then, yeah. Okay. The Jedi plan worked. We're fairly alright banners. Not necessarily the most intimidating teams, but it was more just the fact of I wasn't convinced by anything else, so it had to be. Oh yeah. Right. Let's see. I guess there's nothing to really think about here, right? We are just... I don't really have any other choice. This is just the ships I have. Has to be this way. We are going to go full respect. We're going full reinforcements. All hands on deck. Edmund Hawk doesn't make the cut. Actually does. Still in this weird spot. We don't exactly have a compelling lineup, and we're still kind of married to Houndstooth. We're almost done. Y-Wing has like 40 more shards left, and Rex's ship reached 6 stars. It's still sad to me how long that ship is taking. I guess. We kind of need to save Finalizer. We really can't afford to... Like, the Finalizers is our only other quote-unquote real fleet. First order ships, no. I guess you... We have enough credits to spare. We could probably start leveling him up, actually. It's really doing nothing for this matchup, though. Never really needed to use him before now, but I guess better to have him than not. I want to use those credits for the other ships incoming, though. Yeah, I don't think we do. I don't think we bother bringing him. I don't think he would. If we're in a situation where we need him, then we probably already lost. The Relicate GK, this should be on Mass Assist first, I believe. Patently wrong. Alright. Hello. So, they have counterattacks. Not terrible. It's not amazing. It hurts, for sure. It does a little bit. We mostly just need to try to make sure that we stop the Anakin ship from causing Negotiator to give him the invulnerability back once off. We need to think about, does this really even play that differently? So we have the stun, we're basicking. We're not planting Buzz Royce because we don't want to chip away his protection. I think this is just going to play the same. Like what? Yeah, we just AoE. We'll do one more Vulture basic. I guess we'll get counterattacked once. Maybe it kills us. I really doubt. No, we're taunting. Oh, because there's no Rex ship. Anakin's ship hasn't actually cycled off stealth yet. That's different. That's probably not great. We could do a patience play, maybe. I don't, so it might, the Negotiator might actually just do basic onto Anakin's ship. So if it goes again, we get to the next Hyena basic, then it actually works for it. Sure. Perfectly fine with losing Sun Fact there. Right out of time. I don't know if it's going to preserve Anakin's ship, though, or do a reinforcement. No, we got Terminator, actually. We're sick. We're insane right now. Alright. We need to call Spy Ship because we need to not anger him. We need a basic here. Okay, they actually did get a goal. Please don't be... it's Plo Koon. Okay. We do kind of just have to scramble now. I was really trying to step lightly around all this, but now we're in trouble. I'm gonna drop the its ults. Maybe Anakin technically killable, or they're gonna be. Don't land the stock. Spy dead. Anakin dead. Helpful. We should be dead. Just do it, dude. Do it, coward. Okay. What does that mean? I'm trying to remember what necessarily played differently, because we were... Maybe... Okay, so no, we did need to anger Anakin's ship deliberately there, then, I think. I wonder if I have that in range in a ring. I want to retry that. It's not the first time I played this, but this is the first time that I've lost to it. We got the Hyena turn that I wanted, but Anakin wasn't primed the way. And we got the Negotiator basic that I wanted to. Alright, I guess we just have to do the thing. I mean, our final laser is not going to be being that other fleet. Let's do the other and then fold back. Let's see what ships we have left. Problem is that you didn't just hit auto. I don't know. I've literally fought against that exact fleet. I don't know. Maybe it's Ahsoka's crazy high relic, and I don't know that. Because Ahsoka did go first. That might have been different. Maybe? I don't remember her going first in past fights. That could have been extra damage on their part, but it really wasn't about the Ahsoka damage. It was just about lining up the kill an Anakin ship. Probably just leaving it this. Probably just gonna like that. Wouldn't mind having something like Clone Sergeant in it for First Order as well. It's harder when Ahsoka starts from Malevolence to take down Negotiator. I fought against that exact fleet is what I'm saying, with Relegate GK, and won the fight just fine. I'm not sure what played out differently there. Ahsoka with Houndstooth is harder. Ahsoka in that case didn't really necessarily feel that bad. Still probably doing this, just giving Millennium Falcon Terminator so that he gives our Houndstooth Terminator, so that we get our taunt up running. This spell so that we get to kind of want to keep the target lock on Y-Wing. Whoever do it on this is going to dispel, but I think Biggs could just die outright. Which makes this a really good choice. Okay, so we avoid getting the shield disruption missile. That's good. Health of our hounds. Is this really Plo time? I feel like we could do better than this. Oh, we didn't bring up an Hawk, actually. Yeah. Breach probably won't last long. Now we have a much better Plo. Maybe not the best for banners, but we got a couple of people for protection. Probably not. That probably doesn't really matter for finishing. Okay. Pretty much what I expected it to be. And now for the money question. I mean, the only real threat on their team right now is going to be Ahsoka into Fly's next reinforcement, probably. I think probably doing first order TIE pilot is probably going to be best on a preload. I'd have to assume, just try to get some Terminator back on our side as well. I really hope that they aren't just going to hit us with an immediate AoE daze. Cannot begin to emphasize enough how much I would love to not just immediately get hit by that. Are you that good of a draft tank without... Not necessarily. Clone Sergeant might almost end up being better here. For just... okay. It's not really doing anything aside from just bumping Silencer's turn meter. And if he's not dazed, then that's enough. If he is dazed, then it's not really at all. No gauntlet. SF TIE pilot is better for the fallen crew at the beginning, but in this case, we're going into our preload. I think if I aggroed Annie before Highness' second turn, I would have won. The problem is the ship would have re-upped. I'll see if I can do this in Fleet Arena. I might be too low to encounter that team. I know it's probably higher than me right now, and my payout's coming soon, but yeah, the way I usually end up beating it is I try to pace a specific Hyena turn so that Anakin's self-revive like falls off, and then we get it with a basic. I don't know. I mean, the slow play didn't work there. I'm not sure why it didn't work this time, but yeah, maybe we should have just gone Unga Bunga. I don't know. We really don't have that great of a feeling third. I guess Rex just under the mythical. What if he could come out of matter? No, we need a tank. Sure, you're fairly persistent as a tank. It's probably the best we're gonna get. What are we dealing with here? I think that they used AoE recently before the match ended. I'm hoping. Nope, they're literally just hitting us with the bait. Good stuff. Alright, so we don't have any way to get that daze off, right? Alright, we get the stun, that helps. This hunted is almost better for 5s, but I don't know if we're about to see 5s or not. If we are, then it kind of feels bad to waste it now, but this will at least stop Ahsoka from getting Terminator when we reinforce. That has to matter for something. They really are just going for him immediately, aren't they? I mean, we have this. They're critically immune though. I guess we're just fishing. He has offense down though. And we've like not ramped any amount of damage. There's no way this works. I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to take the Plo kill or fish for another stun. Probably just take the kill. Alright, there's 5s. Do kind of regret not having hunted there, but I think we just need Clone Sergeant. We just need Peel for Silencer right now while he's ramping. Like, it kind of has to be the right choice, I think. It's either that or we're going you. The Oracle isn't that useful. I mean, Clone Sergeant isn't going to have protection for that long, is the other issue. Yeah, I think we just need a tank. Buy some time. This... yeah, we know what this will be coming with. God, we just permanently have offense down, huh? Okay, we ate the big hit. That's all we really needed Clone Sergeant to do, and he's about to get some protection back. That also feels great. He's doing a great job. He's doing exactly all I needed. Crit immunity, less helpful here. We are kind of just right now. Hundred and fives does feel kind of good, actually. We need. All right, from here, silence is pretty nuts. We should just. Okay. I mean, banner-wise, I don't know what damage that did, but we got the full clear. And it's been a while since we had a ships fail. All right, actually, I want to see it. I want to run that matchup back if we can. Please be close. I wish that we could see their relic level from this. I don't think it's Barbaro. Someone in my climb who really don't think it'd be that far south. But... Is this for a feat? Or is this some lore that I haven't yet seen in Clone Wars? What the hell? I'm not gonna ask questions. No. I mean, pass this. Why am I rank 11? I didn't even realize. Chances are pretty high. It was probably Barbaro. And alright. Results of not having fleet loadouts? Sure. Man, I don't even. You would have known too from this screen, just looking around. Like, hey, Negotiator, Grievous. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so the reason why I'm reserved in that fight is because we know that if we Unga Bunga, what's his noodle, Negotiator, then we know that Anakin is going to get angered. Going to give if we Unga Bunga, let's say Y-Wing in that case, or Anakin, either or, then Negotiator go at turn meter. Negotiator will re-give Anakin the immunity, and then that typically lasts him until Flow comes out, and then you kinda, I mean, the same thing happens, right? We get to the exact same spot and we lose in the exact same way. The tournament that I had, I mean, remember how it is. All right, it just plays the exact same way. The biggest difference was actually, okay, so here's one way they could play differently. So the problem is, off of the Negotiator area, Rex is going first. The question is, could we anger Anakin one more time to make pretend like Rex has given him turn meter? And could we do that without him, without getting to the spot where the Negotiator gives him immunity again? That's the money question, because basically that was what was missing that fight. is we landed on that traditional hyena turn, but because Anakin didn't have this 50% bonus turn meter, he still had the safety net. Do I lose if he clears that SLK? Question. He needs to beat my Kylo for 60, is the current state of things. So I don't know what he's got, but actually, wait, no, I take that back. He needs to get 60 to tie me right now. I guess, am I the GP underdog? I almost always am. I assume I am. Yeah, of course we are. As is tradition. So if he can somehow get a 60 against my Kylo, who is specifically modded to be fast, and has more fast, and has a tenacity hux, for 200% tenacity, then yes. But otherwise, no, don't be it. And given the fact that they didn't attack, I should be fine? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We're still just kind of waiting. It is ridiculous to me how long Rex's chip is taking. I mean, whatever. Let's just see. If we're already in 11 still, I just want to try this. I want to feel this. This has to be so scuffed. I can't imagine this possibly being the correct call. I've never actually tried. Actually, I don't even remember if Rex has level 2 abilities or not. I think he does, because I think I was, like, just in case he's coming in with real. Alright, Anakin first, as all good GK fleets do. I mean, the AI does this on Vulture Droid. Yeah, this is pretty much what I like to do with Vulture Droid with Separatists. You kill Vulture Droid before they go so that they affect the turn meter. It's kind of cute. Alright. This feels really, really weird to me. It feels like we're just watching... I feel like I'm watching myself on the opposing team almost. I guess. They're about to just get it back anyway. I mean, we get to call Ploda. It's cheating. This is very clearly cheating. Okay. God, our ult is taking a long time still, actually. What's up with that? Normally it comes out so fast. Is it because Anakin just isn't getting re-angered? Plo with the counterattack king right now? Oh god. Yeah, but recharging. Going one. Might as well be in. I mean, that's a win. Don't really know the quality of their team. Guess we can check that in a second here. Your mod up of your Anakin for Fleet Arena so GK always goes first. Yeah, but we're not going to be locking into the GAC that way. It's a promise I can make to you. Oh, really? 5 groups? Doesn't matter. I mean, what's the speed gap right now? 174. I think Negotiator is still always going first in that matchup. Yeah. Pennington's always going first, and that should just bump Negotiator into going next. I guess. I mean, it's not pretty on banners, but it does free Houndstooth up. I haven't tried Houndstooth and Separatist. I don't know if I've ever actually tried it. I don't know if that would be the correct call here. My hope was that to use Houndstooth on defense for ships. But, I don't know. Yeah, that wasn't gonna matter in that fight. Hey, whatever, we got there. Last time we ever lost on ships was because I didn't level up Finalizer. Now, perfectly fine for cleanup, dude. I'm just happy that we were able to pick up that can't kill, though. If Anakin was still alive, things probably feel a lot less pleasant. I can't... The fact that we immediately got hit with the mass assist, though, was ridiculously unlucky. Not even unlucky. We probably should have just tried to cater down that fight. Once we knew we were losing, we probably should have just tried to, like, get an important cooldown out of them before it got ended. But then again, we didn't time out. They just killed us. So... Oh well. You know what? For his ship investment versus my ship investment, I'll say fairly happy landing. Assuming we don't explode. But we'll see. In Relegate SLK, I trust. I think I'll be fine. His JML especially doesn't have the potency, so this Tenacity Hux comes in a fairly big way. Am I ever going to level up Finalizer? I mean, once I get enough stars for 7-star, then sure. Over like 7 returns of the event off from it. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if level 6 Finalizer is a significant breakpoint, but it's basically what I did with Radis, right? Oh, maybe it would be nice to have Radis for offense. I haven't really thought about that. It's either we go Radis for offense or we try Blades, ship, and defense setup. I haven't leveled this up. This could probably be alright level. I'm just saving ship credits for now. I actually do need to get back to farming type on people. For right now, I'm 150 on. We have some spare energy to just wrap this. Wow. One off the block already. Yeah. I don't know. I need to figure out who the heck it was or where it was and try to target them again. I don't want to have a repeat of this. I don't want to make a habit out of this. And probably the more annoying part is that now that that's in match history, people might just try to keep reposting that. But I really think it might have just been the Relic 6 Ahsoka. I don't know. I don't have a good explanation out of it. Ahsoka going first was the only thing I really remember playing differently. Actually, can I just check him? Is that accurate? I wanted to check their ships. I don't know if Relic 8, GK, and Ahsoka are even close, or if Ahsoka was just always going to go first. 187? Okay, no. She's always going first, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe if she's missing like some 60, missing some relics. Possible that the Ahsoka that I fought against was just a little bit more sandbagged. All 60 here. Interesting. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of just on the same ships farming plan for now. We've almost got modern GR. We're close, except for Rex. But I mean, did Rex even die in that fight? We just need BTL to be as beefy as he can be. Kind of chilling from there. Yeah, I don't think this would have mattered for that fight. We did choose to bring out Spy. That was actually another point that might have actually ended up mattering. They've kind of already said most of the things that need to be, or could have been said about that. The Spy was just like a reaction call to try to line up that turn, but because the turn didn't line up anyway, I don't know. It's really hard to say. If we happen to have hit Spy Taunt on the ETA, then obviously that would have been sick, but that's a 1 in 3. That's not a reliable or good or safe call. We'll see. We're making good progress on the Y-Wing. I don't know if it'll be done by next lock. We're doing 15 attempts a day right now, so definitely not. If we're getting 5 shards a day, then we need wait. 10 shards a day. I don't know. For 10 days. I don't know why that was so hard to land on for a second. So we might have it by week 3. It's actually gonna be kind of close, I guess. It'll like land. Shoot, it'll land like actually unlocked it. Doing. All right, we'll see. We got some other stuff to be thinking about anyway in the process. First negative encounter with Relic GK. Feels kind of bad. We may need to adjust our approach, Seps. I mean, I know that the fleet that I'm kind of outdated for offense is just what I've practiced. But I don't know necessarily what improves that fight. I would need to know what broke from my usual experience against it to know how to fix it. I'll have to try to figure that out at some point. We do have plenty to still be working on tonight, though, so I am probably just going to go start putting time onto that. The Vader guide took a little bit longer than I expected, I said today, but it's landing in the morning instead. That'll be fun. Playbook guide is still going along. I kind of, I don't know if I should show it or just keep it a surprise. Keep it a surprise. Soon's, yeah, it's coming. It's been a lot of work, but I think it's coming together. Yeah, feel pretty good about it. My ships are coming along well. Not really, but I'm doing the stuff that doesn't require gearing pilots, so I'll at the bare absolute minimum, you know. All right, yeah. I'm gonna get to work on that. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and hope you all have a good experience in your ship battles, because I certainly did not. We'll see what happens. Alright. Thank you for stopping by. The 3v3. I think still is it? Ish. Not 3v3 season. What you talk about? Why would I make a 3v3 video if it's not 3v3 season? Who do you think I am? Who do you take me for? Assaulted. No, spicier than that. Alright, bye.